Well, well, well. Look who finally showed up. The storm the city didn't ask for, but the storm it'll never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, monsters and saints, parasites and prophets, let's get one thing straight before we even begin. Tonight, the spotlight is not on me. No, it's on you. On that look, on that entrance, on the madness you just unleashed without even opening your mouth. Because tell me this, what happens when a single choice of cloth, a single choice of color, a single choice of how you dared to exist, brings an entire city to its knees? They screamed, "WTF did you wear?" The echoes traveled through alleys, corporate halls, fancy dining tables, and the filthy corners where rats whisper truths no one wants to hear. Overnight, you didn't just walk out in an outfit. You declared war on normal. You stabbed mediocrity in the chest and left conformity bleeding out on the pavement. And now, the whole city's melting down over you. Do you understand the weight of that? Do you feel the tremor you caused? 1,000,000 fake smiles cracked at once. 1,000 fragile egos shattered like glass. Every eye turned to you. Because for the first time, they saw something they couldn't control. You see, people don't really hate your look, no. They hate the fact that you wore your truth. They hate the fact that while they caged themselves in chains of approval, you walked out draped in your own rebellion. They hate that you proved them small, timid, and disposable just by existing loudly. And when the herd feels small, it attacks, it mocks, it gasps, it shouts, "How dare you?" But let me tell you something, that sound, those insults, those sneers, that's not hate. That's applause in disguise. That's the sound of people realizing, deep in their rotten souls, that you're what they'll never be. They wanted you silent. You answered in thunder. They wanted you invisible. You showed up like an eclipse. They wanted a sheep. You came dressed as the wolf. And now, they're trembling. Look closely. Behind their laughter, there's fear. Behind their whispers, there's awe. Behind their judgment, there's worship they'll never admit. Because every single one of them remembers what it felt like to want to be different. But they killed that part of themselves years ago. You revived it tonight. And that's why they're choking on their own hypocrisy. Do you realize what that means? You just became the mirror they cannot look into without breaking. Let me paint the picture for you. The bankers on Wall Street, red-faced, sweating, choking on their overpriced whiskey, because your outfit disrupted their perfect little pyramid of power. The influencers, scrolling, zooming, replaying, praying to their gods of algorithm, because you just did in one night what their filters never could. The politicians, oh, they hate you the most, because you didn't need a speech, a campaign, or a lie. You simply walked out, and suddenly, you owned the crowd they've been buying for decades. And the so-called common folk, the ones hiding behind screens, typing their mockery in caps lock fury, they're just jealous soldiers of sameness, because they know deep down, if they had 1 ounce of your courage, their lives wouldn't be so painfully forgettable. So here's the truth, darling chaos bearer. That look, it wasn't fashion, it wasn't fabric, it was fire. You weren't wearing clothes, you were wearing defiance. You weren't dressing for the weather, you were dressing to start a war against boredom itself. And you won. The proof? An entire city, a living organism of billions of cells, is convulsing because of you. They can laugh, they can sneer, they can scream, "WTF did you wear?" until their lungs collapse. But let me tell you something they'll never admit. They'll remember it forever. Clothes fade, colors bleed, styles come and go, but that moment, that earthquake you caused, it's now written in the nervous system of this city. You rewired it, you infected it, you stained it, and no one, not even time itself, can erase it. So what's the lesson, What's the medicine hidden in this chaos? It's this. The next time the world demands you shrink, remember this night. Remember that you wore yourself so loudly that an empire of silence cracked open. Remember that all it took was authenticity wrapped around your skin and the entire system short-circuited. You are the weapon. You are the virus. You are the revolution. And when they shout, WTF did you wear? Again, don't defend, don't explain, don't apologize, smile, grin wide. Because that question is proof that you shattered the illusion. That question is proof that you're unforgettable. That question is proof that you're alive while they're still pretending to be. So walk on, keep walking. Let them choke on their coffee, on their envy, on their disbelief. Don't you dare dim it down. Don't you dare tone it down. Turn it up, louder, wilder, crazier, until the whole world burns with the truth you dared to wear. Because here's the ultimate joke, my beautiful anarchist. They'll say you're insane, but secretly, they'll spend the rest of their lives trying to copy the courage you showed in a single step. And that's power. But we're not finished, are we? No. This isn't over yet. You thought the meltdown was the ending? Oh, darling, it's only the overture. Because chaos doesn't die after the first explosion. It ripples, it spreads, it infects. Do you hear it? Out there in the city tonight, the chatter hasn't stopped. The screams haven't died. The hashtags are multiplying. The whispers are mutating. The headlines are sharpening their knives. You've got school kids drawing sketches of your look in the back of their notebooks. You've got the tabloids inventing stories about what statement you were making. You've got the bitter ones, the bitter ones, staying up past midnight writing paragraphs about you. They'll delete tomorrow because even they know. They've already lost. Why? Because you broke the code. You cracked the spell. You tore open the wallpaper of their reality and showed the mold growing underneath. And let's talk about that fear, shall we? The fear you injected into their veins. The city isn't scared of fabric. The city isn't scared of color. The city is scared of you. Because they just realized something terrifying. If you can dress like that without permission, then maybe you can live without permission. Maybe you can speak without permission. Maybe you can burn down every rule they've been following since birth. And if you can, then why can't they? That's the horror, isn't it? Not your outfit, not your entrance, but the fact that you made freedom look possible. Oh, but here comes the real punchline. They'll try to bury it. They'll try to dismiss it. It's just clothes, they'll say. It's just attention-seeking, they'll whisper. It's just a phase, they'll laugh. But you and I, we know better, don't we? Clothes are not clothes when you weaponize them. A look is not a look when it becomes a manifesto. An outfit becomes a revolution when it forces people to confront their own chains. You didn't just wear something, you armed yourself. And tonight, you detonated. And oh, how they'll remember it. Years from now, they'll lie about where they were when they saw it. They'll pretend they laughed, but secretly, they'll recall the shiver that ran down their spine. They'll claim they didn't care. But deep down, they'll remember that 1 second when their own reflection looked dull compared to you. That's immortality, sweetheart. Not statues, not medals, not history books. No. True immortality is living rent-free inside the minds of those who swore they'd forget you. And that's what you just bought yourself. Eternal residency in their nightmares and their fantasies. So tell me, do you still feel small? Do you still feel unsure? Do you still question if you went too far? You didn't go too far. You didn't even start. Tonight was the spark. But the fire hasn't even begun, because now the city's eyes are glued to you, and you hold a choice. Will you retreat? Will you fold yourself back into the coffin of normal? Or will you double down? Will you crank the volume until the walls crack and the ceilings cave in? Because here's the dirty secret. Once you've caused a meltdown, you can never go back. You can't step off the stage. You can't rejoin the herd. You've crossed the line of no return, and thank God for that. Because why would you ever want to go back to being invisible? The city will keep screaming, WTFDIDYOUWEAR. But underneath that question lies another. WTFAREWEDOINGWITHOURLIVES. They won't admit it, but you've infected them with doubt. Every time they put on their bland little uniforms, every time they hide behind trends, every time they trade authenticity for approval, they'll hear your echo, your laugh, your look, your defiance. And that echo? It will drive them insane. So here's what I say. Don't run. Don't hide. Don't explain. Turn their meltdown into your orchestra. Conduct it. Enjoy it. Make their chaos your symphony. Because the truth is, darling, you didn't just wear an outfit. You wore power. You wore freedom. You wore the death of their illusions. And the city is addicted to you now. They'll keep watching, keep waiting, keep trembling, keep mocking. Because secretly, deep down, they're begging you to lead them where they're too cowardly to go. So smile, grin wide, laugh until your ribs ache. Because the meltdown is not the end. The meltdown is the beginning. And from here on out, every step you take, every choice you make, every look you dare to wear will not just be fashion, it will be prophecy. And one day, when the ashes of their old world scatter in the wind, they'll whisper about tonight. They'll whisper about you. And they'll remember the words that started it all. What the fuck did you wear? And that, my friend, is the sweetest victory of all.